Now, the views and opinions expressed during real... Hey, folks. Andrew Vignati. Mars Jptr.
How you doing?
My name is Reverend Danny DeGood. Thank you for showing yourself to us through the wonder of it all. We can see you. You can see us. We can see you through spiritual vision. Right, Mars?
Yep, I see them all. I see them out there. How are you, Earth people? Thanks for having us.
So we're going to do an interview today, but before we do the interview, we're going to show you some of the music that these folks have put together. Their group is called the 7th Haus, and we're going to bring that up on the screen in a little while and just show you what you can see there if you want to write it down, as well as their best piece of music so far. It's called
El Mu.
El Mu. Is that what, M-O-O?
No, that's M-U.
Okay, El Mu. Okay, now, what is El Mu about?
El Mu is a lost land, you know, when the Pangea happened and the continents of the earth shifted. It was a land that was lost and went underground, and you know, some cultures throughout history might have called it Atlantis or Lemuria, or you know, psychics may have gone back and thought about it, and it's basically just a concept of, can we live underwater? And in these times of melting ice caps and rising waters, will we be able to adapt if we have to live beneath the sea? Will we grow gills, you know? So it's basically just thinking about a water world, basically, and how our lives would be if we were more similar to mermaids and mermen and, you know, human.
Interesting. So,
Yeah.
Where can I locate your work of art?
Well, El Mu in particular, it's on our debut EP that we released a couple of months ago called 7. We're about to go on tour this summer. Yeah, so it's available on cassette. If you meet us at one of our shows, you can get it directly from us on one of these custom cassettes designed by EQM. It's got a galaxy on the outside, hand-painted. So that's one way. And then the album is also on Spotify, iTunes. You can get it on Bandcamp, the 7th Haus.bandcamp.com.
But what about right now?
And right now you could actually see a video of our first performance with Andrew. He joined the band 2 days before 2015, and then on New Year's we had our first show with Andrew as our guitarist. So you can check it out on YouTube.
All right, let's do that now. Michael, can you bring up El Mu? El Mu.
El Mu.
El Mu, yes. The
Thank
great
you,
El
Michael.
Mu. Bring it up. Yeah, let's resurrect. Let's bring it onto the screen here. Okay,
The
great.
Archangel
We're all
Michael.
ready to go. There we are. And we're gonna, it's about 4 minutes and 50 seconds. What we're gonna do is we're gonna play it in parts. I'm gonna ask Andrew and Mars to talk about their feelings about what we're looking at and what we're listening. And then, since it's their property, we're gonna go through the whole thing at one shoot. We'll have plenty of time to do it. So let's start with educational entertainment here on the Sunshine of the Americas Foundation program.
Yes, we need to dive deep in this age of Aquarius.
So you're making a comment. What were you saying about the White House?
Well, the White House is an underground venue. You know, Boston has a lot of great like basement house venues. So that's one that we had the honor, thanks to Jasmine and Show Mom Collective and you know some other affiliations. Yeah, the White House is a great venue. They're not the police, as some people have spread propaganda that they're affiliated at. They're definitely not. You know.
Andrew and Mars, what's going on here, this particular scene? Are we going to see different scenes throughout this film? Or is this going to be it?
This
location?
is solitary. Yeah, our friend Julie was filming, I think, on her phone that night. So we got hooked up with this video, basically doing this one song that a lot of our local fans love. This song, El Mu. So this is probably what we ended the set with. So this is the end of our set on New Year's Eve. This is how we set off the New Year 2015. And
Where's the location again?
this is the White House in secret location in Boston, Mass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna continue on with the piece of music.
Andrew's first
Raise your hand.
performance with us.
Either you two want to make a comment? Just raise your hand. We'll talk about it.
Deep into the seas.
Excuse me. Is Andrew in sight right now?
He's sort of in the background.
in the back corner, yeah.
Yeah, you'll
Just
see
small
it.
As the waters rise,
I can see it right now.
we wonder what is the world we do. Is there a world anew? Can we breathe under the 7 seas of swirling blues? Can us mammals swim with the whales? Should we set sail for El Mu? A lost land, Lemuria like. A loss of land for aquamarine seas. Believing we can breathe beneath if we will it. Will we feel the growing gills of a fish? Water the wells of wonder on which we all wish. Yeah. Super submarine level, slumber machine seats several guided sizes.
Yeah. So,
What's going on?
well, Andrew was just pointing out that he was improvising. I thought he was doing a great job coming up with guitar licks on the spot.
Yeah, it was that first show, so.
Okay, let me interview Andrew for a moment. Andrew, your background, because when I do Sunshine All Around the World, which is an interview program, I've interviewed people from all the livable continents.
Yeah.
And I had an excellent musician from Australia on, who got an award from Hungary, from the government of Hungary, that only his teachings of music could exist in the school system of Hungary.
Wow.
He was very much on it. Tell me something, as we look at you and honor you now with our words,
Yeah.
where did you first learn how to play the guitar?
Well, I'm proud to say that I'm self-taught, and I first started playing when I was probably 14 years old.
If you said Hungary, I say my name is Mars Jptr. So you
No,
started.
I'm a little bit hungry though.
So as you continue with your career, when did you first become a part of a band?
Well, they asked me to. I've been making music with Mars and Elliot for here and there for a little while, just laying down guitar and bass tracks on certain things, and they had this show coming up for New Year's, and they asked me if I wanted to play with them for it.
How old are you?
And I'm 21, which
You're
is
20, you're very young. And
yeah.
tell me something, Andrew. But when was your first encounter with a band? Was it with Mars Jptr?
yeah, it's the first band
Fantastic.
I've played with.
So this is a really great feeling.
Yeah, it's good.
It's wonderful.
Feels great to play.
Now, how many songs or pieces of music, because it could be just musical instruments, that you two have been part of so far in creating?
Well, quite a few. We like to record a lot of our practices, and in that way create songs and build songs. We practice in the studio,
Yes.
live recording everything. So we have lots and lots of tracks, just so many.
Really?
That we're
How
always
many,
working
what would you
on.
say, Jupiter?
And,
Well, yeah, we have a lot of tracks. I mean, it's, a collective where we were actually just hanging out with a good friend of ours, Felix, who, even before the 7th Haus existed as an idea, was producing stuff with me and Elmar, or Elliot Moranis, who is our bass player, also a co-producer. So, I was in New York a couple times recently, and I had left behind just some drum tracks, and then I come back, and Elliot, or Andrew and Elliot, had put their own twist on a track by playing some guitar and bass, which is what they play on stage, but then in the studio they might pull out a keyboard and put some keyboards on it. So we're working on right now we have a 7-track EP out, and I think the next album is going to be about 7 tracks now, and I'd say we have at least 7 tracks in the works that are being played around with, if not more, and then we'll cut those down and
Interesting.
try to figure out a good format for each of them. But it's a new sort of songwriting process, I think, when you have a recording studio and you can just put something down right away. We're not necessarily writing the notes down like if we went to Berkeley or if we were, writing for an orchestra or something. We can kind of just come up with ideas on the spot, try to save those as sound as opposed to going through another level of communication where we have to write it down, which is it's a sort of a block to getting straight to the sound and the live performance and the feeling,
It's a lot of ear. It's very fluid the way we practice, and it's
fascinating, very lively.
That's where my guitar style,
full of liberty, and freedom.
Exactly.
But it's okay to be structured too. But
it's good to be structured.
It's great. It's great because I know how to compose, but I think it's great when you can see a band do their thing and put it together improvisingly.
Right. It never sounds the same.
When you can just get into the spirit of the joy of harmonizing in your own beautiful way.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of the songs develop on stage because we like to stay active and do shows and try stuff out that is not recorded or released yet, and just gauge the crowd's reaction, or like you said, improvise on it. Try some freestyle lyrics, some freestyle guitar. So that's kind of what's going on in this video. To get back to the video,
yes,
he's
let's do
freestyling his guitars because he only did like a day or two of practice with us, or a couple.
The rise is beside it. I just tried and provided his time with a soft landing place in the sand. Rain, space, shape, shift, position if it hits right. Midnight hour is a bright shower. Communion of the lunar sea with us moving free. The right move is lunacy. Illuminati, love, illuminate. Edging into the future, revving. The ride, fire, a spark. Plug to the rhythm. Kicking stand, truth and wisdom. Kicking here, baby blue with bliss. Take me to the river, dip me in the water. Let's do some mission to see. Is there another vision to see? Which could be in a more intimate position than we. If she had kills from her hips to her feet. And only the merman can bigger to squeeze and get it between our reverse and here for Ariel. Declaring land is up for citizenry. Civilize me, let me civilize you. Let's build a civilization which will rise to our version of overstanding. When we're overstanding on the veranda, watching the plot that we planted. A small part of the all with all partners and planning. Reach Peace Coast, each part and parcel and planning. Massive meltdown.
Yeah, so I said reach Peace Coast Peak in there, and that's like a loose collective or just sort of an idea that is borderless and boundaryless, the Peace Coast. So we do these shows down the street at the Honey Store. We've been doing for the last 2 summers called
Follow the Honey.
Peace Coast Fam Jams, down at Follow the Honey here
Cool.
on
Oh yeah, I heard of that place.
Mars Jptr Avenue, and so
And then, do they have a lot of presentations there?
yeah, they
At
have
the Honey Coast?
they are an amazing
Peace Coast?
local. Well, the Peace Coast is really like broad. There's other people nationally, internationally that can be a part of that. So this song El Mood, that's about like some lost land of underwater. That's like the Peace Coast could be anyone who's on the shores of Costa Rica or on the shores of a beach in California and enjoying just like a coastal, or even the Great Lakes of Michigan. There, just like anybody going swimming could be on the Peace Coast swimming, But it's just anybody spreading peace because, coasts or borders are usually the source of a lot of conflict. We've seen it recently with Russia and Ukraine and, in the Middle East and different places, and in Israel and Gaza and Palestine. So we're looking for a way to be borderless but also conflictless and help to break down barriers of conflict. And then you create this third space, which is the Peace Coast outside of.
Is this within the El Moon?
Yeah, so I just had a line in the song that said, reach Peace Coast Peak, each part and parcel we planned it, perfect placement taken with grace when hardships are handed, massive meltdowns this Martian can manage.
Are you generally a rapper? Are you typically a rapper? Or
I'm
do
not.
you go rap?
I would call myself an MC.
MC. What's an MC? What does MC mean?
A rapper. An MC means that you can not only say a rap and say something that you've written that comes from inside of you, that's maybe about you or about an idea you had, but you can also speak about what's on people's minds in that exact moment, and you can sort of touch on what people are thinking about. At a venue, you can freestyle as well as doing something written. You can also get the crowd to sing along with you or give you a response. And it's more about being in tune with the crowd and being able to host an entire event or an entire presentation, as opposed to just being like, I'm going to present you with my musical idea. It's more like, I want to not only present you with some of my musical ideas, but I also want to really rock this party and make sure everyone's having a good time and be able to switch things up on the fly and talk to my band, but also talk to the sound man and the crowd and just create an environment, you know, and create that space of Peace Coast, you know, create.
Wow, man.
You know, so that's
really beautiful.
Yeah,
Very
so
beautiful.
that's
Now
what I
tell me
think it is.
something. Do you want me to focus on playing the whole piece right through, or do you want me to just we'll just continue and use it as an educational idea, and we'll stop and
Well,
go?
we have some other videos
But-
on the
but-
YouTube. We could finish this one out.
Yeah,
if
why
you
don't,
want.
we, why don't we let this fly then, and we'll do the whole one another time. So
Okay.
bring it in, and we'll continue.
As Martian can manage, take it with grace when hardships are handed. From down to the darkness damage. Now, a quest for water dampness. Quest by my two-palm companion. Now picture that like Jonathan Mannion. Using 35 mil film to fashion a rooftop shot of a beautiful backseat that the future will eyes to see. Exposing that's the flashy composure with which I craft the street master belief.
This is another improvised action.
Yeah, this is like me sort of like playing some notes that I know from the song, but as a
Yes.
percussionist, I'm not as in tune with like the melodies necessarily. So I just know a few root notes that I can play off of, and then I have fun with it. And there's also what's called an XY controller on that synth, so I can, you know, if I move my finger up, it'll do one thing. If I move it left and right, it'll do another thing.
Yes.
So on this little square pad, I can do effects on the fly to change the shape of the sound, as well as, you know, while I'm playing different notes. So that's another kind of improvised thing. And sometimes we have our friend Seth West on the synths and the keyboards as well.
And so, Andrew, what kind of guitar do you play, Andrew?
Usually I play a Gibson Les Paul with the band. It's actually Elliot's guitar. It's an old Gibson. I believe the year is late 70s, early 80s.
Is it a rhythm? Is it a rhythm guitar, or what do you
It's
call it? Bass guitar?
It's just a regular guitar. Yeah.
You must like it a lot, huh?
I do. I really like his guitar a lot. I have myself. I'm playing in the video. It's an Epiphone SG, which is not as nice. The tone is a lot better on his guitar because it's a little bit older and it's a Gibson. It's definitely a better make.
So let's go back to the piece. Let's go back to the piece of music. Here we go.
East Coast.
Peace Coast.
Yeah.
So right there, you're playing some kind of pipe instrument, right?
Yeah, the Peruvian panpipe.
Now,
Yeah.
I have some questions.
All right.
As you're evolving as a band, what is your direction? What is your direction? Are you going to be entertaining at clubs? What is your goal? What is the goal of the 7th Haus?
Well, I would say the goal of the 7th House is to push forward sort of beyond genres of music and even beyond genres of art, because our band definitely has an interest in producing video and theater, and we've worked with dancers. So we like to, we've worked with lighting technicians who have their own light shows. So we like to create like as much of a multi-sensory experience as we can. We like to negotiate relationships with different spaces. So when you say clubs, that's definitely one space that we're working on right now. We have a tour coming up. So we're touring the Northeast, and then we want to tour the whole East Coast and the nation, and then international. I think we would have a pretty good effect on an international audience. But yeah, when I talk about spaces, there's clubs, and we have some great times at clubs. But like I said, Follow the Honey, we play in the backyard there, and we get to play outdoors, and there's actually a beehive there, and there's bees flying around. People get to learn about bees while they're there or buy some honey. We'd love to do some more outdoor festivals. So definitely, like,
Did some shows for charity events.
Yeah, charity events.
Oh, so you have
definitely.
charities. That's great.
We've done some shows at Out of the Blue that have benefited various charities.
Yeah,
And
we did a show.
That's wonderful,
We
Andrew
did a
and
show
Mars.
at a house in Somerville for reproductive, or no, actually,
That was the
Out of the
fossil
Blue
fuel
was
investment.
reproductive rights, but we did one for fossil fuel divestment
Fantastic.
in Somerville. I think the city of Somerville
The
divested.
dinosaurs especially love you. 'Cause they don't, they,
Yeah,
don't want,
exactly.
they don't want their remains keep on
Should write a song about dinosaurs.
being used by machinery.
Leave the dinosaur bones alone. Actually, we have a song. Actually, the first song we ever made together before he was in the band officially was called Dinosaur Eggs.
Sure.
And it's actually a key soundtrack for a short film I made about my friend Steve. It airs here on CCTV. It's called How Steve Got It Back, and it's all about how Steve got his health back, because he was a little bit overweight. He had all these different diseases, ailments, and he really, like, right here in Central Square, by going to some beautiful restaurants like Life Alive, and eating good food and exercising at the Central YMCA, which is the scene that our first song, Dinosaur Eggs, soundtracks. It's it's a beautiful film, and it's a beautiful piece of music that we have to release the actual audio probably as a free download. So check out soundcloud.com/the 7th House or the 7thhouse.bandcamp.com. We'll be releasing that track to you guys soon, and maybe Steve will do a music video. Maybe we'll have
Dancing
him.
in a green
He's a
screen.
great dancer. Maybe he can show you some yoga moves.
There's not enough time to show more of what you folks possess and have.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have to do that another show, I hope. And I may be going to Yellowstone National Park soon.
Awesome.
Taking off and spending about a month on the road.
We're lucky.
But in the meantime,
on now, right?
I'm happy to have my show. Things may turn out a different way. I'm not certain what's going to go on. But as we move along, I hope to have you back maybe in October.
That would be
You know,
great.
and
Yeah.
We'll look forward to having you folks again.
That'll be
And
after
everyone,
the
we only
tour.
have about 2.5 minutes left. So now, during this 2.5 minutes, let me just pop out some questions. You give me quick answers, Are you folks millionaires?
No.
Certainly not.
Yes or no?
Are you folks interested in performing, like nationally as well as internationally. Is that your hope?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is the technique that you presently have, is it rapping 90% of the time?
No, actually, the 7th House started out as an instrumental band, so I didn't do any rapping at first. We had, a guest vocalist here or there, but actually the people seemed to want more of a connection through voice and language, so we went in that direction, and that's a skill that I have. You can find some solo stuff under Mars Jptr,
Yes.
and that's my, other project that has more rapping maybe, but that's instrumental too. We keep a good balance, I think.
For those who are tuning in today, Mars Jptr in the center, Andrew Vignati, and on my right, I'm Reverend Danny DeGoog, and the 7th House is the name of the band, and you were listening to part of, at different times, of El Mu, which is a fantastic motley, menagerie, creation of many aspects.
Yes.
You know, and so
El
we look at the El Mu, and once again you can visit the internet. You can go to YouTube. You can Google. I would suggest El Mu. That's EL space MU, the 7th House, and I think you should have no problem finding that. And so thank you everybody for tuning in today and being a part of our experience. And I hope you two guys continue to do wonderful things for our community with charitable demonstrations of contributing your talent for the entertainment purposes of a charity that's in need.
Yes.
Yeah, well, thank you for having us.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Andrew. It's my pleasure, Mars. Thank you so
Danny.
much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Think about water.
Yeah, think about why.
And fluoridation in Cambridge. Fresh Pond, we got our own water source here in
I'm
Cambridge.
going to get a drink, folks.
And
Thanks for tuning